Can estate agents fix the conveyancing process? Today I'm joined by the wonderful Steph Walker, who's the boss lady of TAUK. And Steph, how the hell can estate agents fix 19-week completion times? Talk to me.
So I think firstly, look, there's a lot of contentious talk around estate agents that refer to a particular conveyancer. And it's always levied that they're referring to a particular conveyancer because they get a kickback.
Can I share some stats with you?
Always.
I have a lot of people, will never mention the name of the firms, but I had a name of an a solicitor who contacted me and said if someone walked in off the street, the client would be charged £700, £800. If we do a deal with an estate agency, that estate agency charges £1,400 and we get £450.
Wow.
These pretty big firms as well. No wonder they've got more files coming out because you've got to make the bloody money up.
I mean, I am somebody that has said conveyancers' fees are crazy and they should definitely be a better paid profession.
Well, they're pulling their pants down and being rogered themselves because they're shit at marketing themselves.
Well,
that is a
different point. Absolutely. So I think if I went back to what we're doing here at TAUK, but also in general, I think having a relationship with a brilliant conveyancer is gold dust. And there are some brilliant conveyancers. There are some brilliant lawyers out there. I'm lucky enough that we spent 4 years, it's TAUK's 4th birthday in a couple of weeks, trial and testing loads of different relationships. And I believe we've got 2 conveyancers now who are fantastic and who are really happy to work on either side of the transaction, which I think can astronomically change things. But if you're out there as an estate agent, don't think so much about the referral fee to start with. Think about the reciprocity, because actually time kills deals. So there's no point getting 200-300 quid on a conveyancing referral if the bastard never completes. It's just a fallacy. So first of all, there are great conveyancers out there. I'd be reaching out to everybody in agency that I know to get the real understanding of who's good, who's not, so on and so forth. I also think forget about them necessarily having to be local with a shop on the high street. I don't think clients care. You're going to have a very small proportion of them that do. So go out there and look for quality. Go out there and try and be a little bit inventive. So we've decided to launch our contract ready proposition. That's where we are going to talk to our sellers about getting everything, even up to the point of searches, done at the point of list. So that'll be one of our chosen conveyancers on one side. And the other conveyancer is happy to speak to a prospective buyer, talk them through that contract ready pack, give a little bit of light advice before that buyer makes an offer. Now, we think that's going to shave 4 weeks off completion times. We also think it's going to get stickier buyers because there's nothing going to crop up during conveyancing.
So when the property comes on the market, not only are you instructing the solicitor for the vendor, you are instructing the solicitor for the buyer as well, even though there is no buyer.
So the buyer will have a choice.
What if I have but would you be, as an estate agent, be instructing the buyer's solicitor even though there's no buyer on listing?
So in this setup, we have 2 conveyancers, 2 separate firms that are happy to work on this proposition.
From day one?
From day one.
I've got a vendor, but I haven't got a buyer yet.
Correct. So the conveyancer that doesn't do the pack is for free helping that potential buyer.
If the buyer wanted to use that one, they could?
Correct. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. And I think they will.
So let's just say if the contract comes back, the buyer starts doing the contract inquiries, are they?
So they will have read the contract pack.
Yep.
They'll know the inquiries that they're going to raise.
Would they raise the inquiries?
No.
No.
But they'll know what inquiries are going to be raised. They are offering to have a conversation with our buyer or potential buyer at that point to say, these are the things that, I've had a read through the contract pack. These are the inquiries that we'd be raising. These are the things to consider. You're now able to go and make a fully informed offer.
And if they decide, that's great. If they don't, they can go elsewhere, but at least they're informed.
Correct. I believe chances are they probably will use that conveyancing solicitor because they've had the advice at that point. They've also built up a little bit of a relationship through those conversations.
Okay, and they're protected because the law society says they have to work. They can't, just because you've introduced them doesn't mean that they're going to do
Correct.
anything dodgy. Well, so really, step one is getting the contract pack ready on day one from listing, but also instructing a buyer solicitor in a light capacity. I have actually heard that there are estate agents in London who are, the vendor is paying for the other solicitor to actually raise inquiries.
Yeah.
So actually, by the time a buyer's found after a couple of months, all the inquiries have been sorted all out.
Well, I mean, that's
And the
an
vendor
ideal scenario.
the vendor pays for that, but the vendor's happy to pay for that because they're less likely to they're less likely to have the sale fall through, and they're more likely to move.
So the stats last week from Rightmove were from under offer to completion 156 days, I believe.
Okay.
If you went to a layperson on the street, they would have absolutely no idea that at the point of them getting an offer, it's going to take another 156 days to potentially get to move to their dream home. So I think we've got a real opportunity here, particularly in personal estate agency, where we're already re-educating the client. We need to go that one step further and explain what's happening and what we're doing to mitigate it. And when we talk about things like fees and what have you, all these value adds, all this strategy is a way to...
Because instead of saying, Mrs. Biggins, it's not a case of about finding you a buyer, it's about getting you moved. And if you go down this route, yes, it might end up costing you an extra £1,000, but you're 80% more likely to move as opposed to, the industry average is 53. It's disgustingly low. So can we agree that we're getting solicitors instructed, I would certainly recommend every estate agent get the solicitor instructed on the vendor side.
Yes.
You're suggesting that they do it on the buyer side, which is great. I actually have two other things which I think, I don't know if you adopt, but do you adopt reservation agreements?
Some of our partners do.
Absolutely massive. Your fall through rate will go down to single digits. Personally, I'm a big fan of Gazelle.
Yeah.
Others are available. Have to say that.
Absolutely.
Because they actually train the team how to actually sell it. Because it's like most things, most valuers don't like anything that's going to get them in the way of. No, it's not going to get in the way. It's actually going to help you get the bloody listing.
Do you know what I say all the time? That we go out there and meet people. We meet our seller clients, and these are people that have big jobs, probably think about strategy when it comes to their own employed role, etc., etc. But when it comes to selling their house, that kind of all goes out the window, and they boil it down to going on Rightmove with some pictures and a for sale board. It's our job to sit there and say, this isn't scaremongering, this is the state of play in the industry. And I want to actually help you move home. Having a sold board up is a vanity metric that I don't really care about. I want to get you to move home because then I want my nice 5-star review. And I want you to go and tell other people how astronomically different the experience has been. It's our job to warn people ahead of time, all of the facets, and to have a plan of action, because not everything is going to go to plan, even if we do set up the contract ready and a Gazelle agreement and so on and so forth. But what we see with all the fall throughs, it can very often not be the estate agent's fault past under offer that makes that sale fall through. But we're absolutely the people that get the blame.
Always. And, the longer a sale goes on, the more likely someone to throw the rattle out their pram wearing motion. If I don't exchange, I'm pulling out.
Time kills
As
deals.
soon as you say that, then it.
Yeah.
Final point, specialist sales progression, either in-house or outsourced. ASAP, who are my favourite sales progressors, others are available. They get their sales through in around 12, 13 weeks as opposed to 19. Just think how magic you could do if you did the upfront bit, got the sales progression. Start again. Just think if you did the contract ready pack at the start with your additional add-on with the buyer. Love that. Seen it, love it. We then have reservation agreements, and then we have proper focused sales progression, which again, if you're a self-employed estate agent, it's different to little Floss who says, I'll ring the sisters up next week. It's different if you're a personal agent and you're dealing with low numbers. Put all that together, we could get stuff through in 8 weeks easily.
Absolutely. I've just done one, a 975 grand purchase, under offer to completion, 3 weeks.
We make a rod for our own back in this industry, don't we? All because we just love
Absolutely.
listings and we hate losing.
And again, the other topics that we're talking about today, Chris, things like fees, those sorts of scenarios, if we got paid quicker, we'd be much more comfortable in niching down.
Yep. Fantastic. Thank you for your insight today, Steph.